Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Paul Lopez.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And let's get into our show lineup and, of course, what you can expect as it relates to conversations this morning. Starting off, it's all about celebrating Belize's public service providers. Then, Bowen and Bowen bringing fresh new flavors with Snackerz. I love Snackerz. We'll also be joined by Hope Panton, a Miss Universe Belize hopeful. She'll be talking to us about her journey to the crown. And the hot topic this morning, should Belize allow offshore oil exploration? Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's Thursday, Friday Junior in the house, and so we are gearing up for the weekend. It's been the weather has been rather schizophrenic, if you would.
Not schizophrenic.
Yeah, that is just another word slips me. So forgive me, but it's been raining and then it's been hot, and I've been enjoying it for the most part. I'm just glad to be here this morning.
Yeah, same here. I know that we've been talking about the showers coming down, but we are in the hurricane season. And speaking of hurricanes, I know that we are monitoring a hurricane in Central America, I believe closer to Mexico as well. Those updates are coming from the National Meteorological Service. We've also shared that on our website as well. But we will be getting further updates as in what we can expect today throughout the weekend from the Met Service a little bit later on in the show. But Paul, let's jump into some of the topics we think that you guys should know before you leave your home.
Yeah, so there's a lot to consider in terms of hot topics, what's pressing at the moment, all the news that's out there, and I'm sure that you have been keeping your eyes on them. So I know that you're aware of a lot of these things on this list. So in our first, what you need to know, we think you need to know, for one, the PSU held a protest yesterday. They hit Philip Golson International Airport for a rather historic protest, a first of its kind demonstration, and they held their position there for about 20 minutes. And then secondly, something else that you need to know is the fact that the United Democratic Party, they're calling a parliamentarian press conference today, and based on what I understand, this press conference is being held to address issues of national importance. We know that the United Democratic Party, that their voices have been amplified primarily where the party's internal issues are concerned, and so this press conference is being labeled as just that, to address national issues. And then thirdly, there's a case that we're following, or an incident we're following in San Jose, Socotra, with missing 13-year-old Lizzie Suntecun, a Guatemalan student who travels daily to Belize, San Jose, Socotra specifically, to attend classes, and she went missing from the school's compound on Monday during lunchtime. So we're talking almost 3 days since she's been missing, with no leads in terms of the family searching for her. And then, of course, the Open Your Eyes kicks off with Summerfest 2025 this Friday, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? So things that happen there. And then, of course, we're talking about the countdown to this weekend's KTV, the remix auditions. as we continue towards that part of opening season 7. So this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we could come down the Greater Belize Media right up on Coney Drive and audition. Cause I know a lot of them they prepare on the voice for last year's season end. Well, this weekend is their chance to come down and audition.
Yeah, get that ginger tea drinking and going for this weekend's auditions. Let's jump into some of the topics that you mentioned, Paul. I know that we have been following closely what has been taking place as it relates to the unions demonstrating and stating their demands. We also had Representative Dean Flowers, the president of the Public Service Union, excuse me, on the couch with us yesterday talking about what some of those concerns are and where they are as it relates to the negotiations with the government. What we didn't know, though, was that there would be a protest at the international airport, the Philip Gosen International Airport. I'm not certain if this is the first time something like this has happened, but it's quite unique. Having these staged presentations in front of the terminals where tourists are coming in, really arguably the busiest tourism hub here in the country. And so it's not necessarily a good look for us. The first sighting you see as you touch Belizean soil are protesters talking about not getting what they're fairly due. And so this is something that we're following closely. We know that we will be seeing much more demonstrations. And this does come on the heel of an industrial action notice that was placed before the government, I believe, on the 7th of this month. Right,
that's when it expires. So here's a question to you, Sabrina. If you're a tourist going to a country, let's put your mindset in that frame.
I'm there.
And you step off the plane, you get through the airport, and you see a demonstration, right? At maybe this scale, 50, 60 people. I don't know, what would you be thinking or what would you be asking yourself?
Okay. So just to think generally, I would be, one, very curious to know the deeper message behind it, what is actually taking place. These tourists, when they come to Belize or when they go anywhere, I would imagine they do read the news and they try to find out, what's the general situation over in these environments. You want to know if it's safe, first and foremost. And so if you go on the news, you're going to see, okay, what's the level of crime taking place? Oh, there's some demonstrations with certain unions. But I don't think that you'd expect to be greeted by them at the airport. So the first concern I would have is, would this or could this potentially get violent? In other parts of the world, we've seen how demonstrations do get violent. Fortunately for us here in Belize, it has been peaceful for the most part. So that would be my first concern. Can this potentially be harmful to me? And secondly, I'd want to know deeper what's taking place. I'm curious to know the fact that they came directly to me. What exactly is taking place? And you?
So I asked that because it's one of the questions I've been considering, right? And what's interesting is that in my considerations, I don't know that I've ever traveled and seen a protest in front of an airport, more so actually on an airport compound.
I know, right?
Right? And so I think that's where my imagination or my theorizing stops, because it's not common across the world to protest in front of airports. In fact, it's usually the case where airports have such tight security across the world that any sign of an uprising, whether by a group or by an individual, would be shut down in its early stage. Here in Belize, it's a different story. It's a different scenario. A group of 50 can essentially lay hold or take over, if you would, an international airport and say, we will lock this down for
for 15 minutes.
15 minutes. I've heard reports of 17 minutes.
Okay.
But that yo.
Okay, but
that could happen.
But let's look at it though, because they weren't inside the airport.
Yeah, I understand.
They were on the compound, and that's a public space.
Listen. It is a public space, which serves.
I think it's because our airport is so small that it looks a lot larger
right.
than it is.
And so we're breaking down the Belize dynamics, right?
Yes.
So it's a public space. The airport is small, but it facilitates international flights.
For sure.
International flights that deals with security protocols that are at the highest levels in airports across the world, right? Because when you deal with an airport, you're dealing with international passengers, right? You're dealing with people from across the world. They're not just Belizeans, and I'm not saying you let your guard down if they're just Belizeans, but I'm saying that the level of security that is required at an airport, clearly this protest or demonstration yesterday showed to me that there is some flaws where that is concerned. Now, I've heard the president of the Public Service Union say that this is only the start of them picketing, demonstrating, or protesting in front of the Philip Golson International Airport. So do I expect that moving forward we'll see an increase in security? You bet the cook. You bet the cook there will be an increase in security, because I don't know that the Briceño administration wants for the international community to receive a message that, one, because in the international community's mind, I imagine, they're thinking, well, if these people could demonstrate right at the door where I come out, and we are largely peaceful people, so we are not thinking like this, but they're thinking, what else can happen?
Yes.
How much more can this escalate?
Yeah, their
right?
safety now comes into play.
So now their safety comes into play, and I'm sure the Briceño administration does not want that type of message to be sent to the international community, to be sent to those coming in on a plane, landing. All right, then people out there, what we are do? And so I suspect that there's going to be heightened security out there. It's a bold move, I'll tell you that. It's a bold move by the Public Service Union and their members. And I am privileged, quote unquote, enough to follow people on social media where all the talks happen that are in support of this side and in support of that side. So they share different views, and some that are on the middle ground. And you have people that are not in support of what the union did yesterday, for some of the same reasons I suggested, security concerns, etc. But then you have some people that are in support of the union saying, do what you must. If this is what it takes for your voices to be heard, then go all out and understand that this is happening, and the 21 days notice it hasn't expired as yet. So you can only imagine what will happen when that
it's going to get bigger. And of course, we did get that confirmation from the president of the PSU saying that they will be seeing some essential services being affected by that. And so we of course continue to follow. But what we're also following, Paul, is that story that you did yesterday, well, that you have been providing since Monday. Lizzie Suntekun, she's 13 years old, a student of Sokot's primary school, San Jose Sokot's SDA primary school in the Cayo district. And it's just been a really sad following. She was last seen on Monday afternoon when she told, I believe it's some teachers, that her aunt came to pick her up. And since then, her family has been searching for her. I think, though, what makes this story all the more interesting is that she lives in Guatemala, but she comes to Belize here every single day because her father's family is from Melchor. And so she goes to school here. But I'm not sure what happened after Monday afternoon. There was also a report saying that she was captured on surveillance footage in Roaring Creek at a store. Were there any developments after that? Were you able to get a comment from the family?
So just for correction, her mother lives in Melchor.
Yes.
And her father lives in Belize.
Yes.
Right? And so what her dad does is her dad facilitates they travel back and forth. He's a taxi driver, and so he facilitates the travel back and forth for Lizzie and her 2 siblings on a daily basis, right? So it's something where the mom and dad has an arrangement, right? As for the surveillance in West Star in Warren Creek, that didn't pan out to be anything. They searched the surveillance footage and that didn't pan out to be anything. The child went missing from the school compound. The child left the school compound at 12:45, telling a friend that she is going to meet her aunt. The suspicious thing here is that the child has one aunt who is more of a grand aunt because the aunt and lives in the north, right? And all of this I'm learning from the family, right? And it's important details to understand. The child has an aunt who's the mother's aunt, the mother in Melcher, and that aunt lives up north. Police has questioned that aunt, and that aunt has said, I don't know anything. I'm not sure what happened. So that aunt is denying knowing anything about the child. The mom and dad are actively searching for this child. It's been now almost 3 days. Midday today will make it 3 days since this child has been missing, a 13-year-old, with no leads where the family is concerned. They're desperate. They're searching for this child. Here's what I'm beginning to realize. One of the things I'm beginning to realize where these schools are concerned. The Ministry of Education needs to do more where school wardens are concerned. Because you have to understand that it's not these schools that hire or pay school wardens. They request school wardens to be posted through the Ministry of Education. This particular school, we spoke with the principal yesterday, and he says that he has been lobbying for a warden to be posted at that school for months. And it was only in February that they got a warden. It's one warden. They have 2 gates. The warden stays at the front gate, and then there's a back gate that Lizzie slipped through. The gate remains closed during lunch, but it's open when children come back. What I'm saying is that it's an easy exit for kids to just leave if they feel like. And that's what Lizzie did. She left because the gate was unsupervised. It reminds me a lot of an incident in Stella Maris. That incident in Stella Maris where that child was able to leave, and we're still not sure if that child left through the front gate or if that child, as we suspected afterwards, jumped from an open area in the back of that gate. But what is so similar about these 2 cases is the fact that both schools shared how much of a burden looking after all these children during lunchtime, which is around the same time that child from Stella Maris, and we still remember him, and the community is still mourning him, is Gabriel, right?
Yes.
During same lunchtime, both schools have voiced how challenging it is to oversee or supervise these children with just one school warden, a handful of teachers, and I think in Stella Maris' case, they had some volunteers here and there. What I'm saying is that it's an issue, it's a problem. Security is at these schools for these children. And it's a call, if nothing else, for the ministry to really look at this issue more seriously.
So where do we go from here? You spoke to the family yesterday. You also spoke to the school to get a deeper understanding of the last moments that Lizzie had on campus. The search still continues.
It continues.
Are there any collaboration that is taking place with the police department?
There's one lead, and at this time, when families are in such a desperate position, they try to hold on to whatever they can. But what we know so far, as I wrap up my comments, is that person saw her entering a white pickup. And we actually have actual footage of the white pickup, but it's only suspicions at this point in time. So we have to confirm 100% that this is the pickup that they saw her enter into before we share it. We've shared what images that are similar to the pickup in our news last night, but they have footage of a pickup truck, a white pickup truck, F-150, that was seen in the area. This pickup truck reportedly was stopped as well at a checkpoint, and the family has received several accounts of her entering this truck. So that's one lead that they're following at this point in time.
All right. Well, moving things along, Paul, we did speak earlier about a meeting that is set to take place. This is a UDP press conference. I imagine speaking on several of the challenges that are currently taking place within the UDP. I'm also hoping for us to, as you can see there on screen on the flyer, get some comments from them in regards to matters of national importance. One of the things we have highlighted and we have been expressing, not only from the media's side, but I think from the public as well, Paul, is that while we see the dysfunction being displayed from the United Democratic Party, it robs us of the opportunity to have them act as the opposition, to speak about concerns that the people have. And so I'm hoping that this press conference is an opportunity for us to hear their thoughts on matters of national importance. We have unions protesting day after day, and we're still not able to see our opposition act as efficiently as they can or as they should.
Now, I'll be honest with you in saying that there's a gap that needs to be filled with an opposition.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of an effect or an impact Panton and her team's voice will have in today's day and time because of all that's happening internally within the party. They do have their supporters, so make no mistake, their supporters will run with their message and will hold it up, hoist it up, and amplify it for Belizeans to see. But I question if that is as far as it will go in terms of the reach of their message in this time. I'm not saying that the press conference is going to be all for nothing. I'm still questioning the impact that it will have given the current state of the United Democratic Party. Because in the back of people's mind, all they're thinking when they're hearing either from the Mr. Barrow side or Mr. Panton's side.
I mean, look at the flyer. You have to see who's on the face to know which one of the UDP.
Right. And so in the back of a lot of people's mind, all they're thinking is, all right, one of the top boy again, one of the come with. And so yeah, but I will say that Ms. Panton has recognized, as I'm sure others have, that their voice needs to be added to the conversations that are taking place publicly at this time.
All right, well, we will be getting that coverage of the press conference and, of course, providing that in our News at Noon coverage, as well as our evening newscast. That does it for some of the things we think you should know before you leave your homes. At this point, though, we do want to transition over to our Eye on the Weather to find out what you can expect today and prepare for today as it relates to the weather.
All right, and so here is our weather update for today. This is our forecast for today, and as we can see here, it says it's going to be mostly cloudy skies with some showers or periods of rain, and a few thunderstorms will develop around the country, especially over northern and central areas. So if this is any sign of what the weekend is going to look like, then you can prepare ahead for that. So today's temperatures along the coast is going to be 84 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty cool. And 78 degrees Fahrenheit on the lower end. Inland is going to be 86 degrees Fahrenheit and 72 degrees Fahrenheit on the lower end. And then in the hills, it gets even more cooler at 78 degrees Fahrenheit on the higher end and 65 degrees Fahrenheit on the lower end. A really cool day. Astronomical forecast, a sunrise, a sun rose this morning at 5:18 a.m. and it's going to set at 6:29 a.m. just in time for you to get out to work and pour a glass of wine or something and enjoy the sunset if you can see it. And the moonrise is rose at 12:51 a.m. this morning, and it's going to set at 12:46 p.m. later on today. In our extended forecast for Thursday, we have 84 degrees inland, 86 degrees up in the hills. On Friday, again with those lower temperatures, 83 degrees inland and 86 in the hills. And then on Saturday, keeping it on the low end again with 85 degrees inland and 90 in the hills. And then on Sunday, 86 degrees inland and 91. So the temperature seems to be creeping up as the weekend goes by. Now, marine condition, the sea state today will be moderate to rough. Some rough, choppy seas out there. Wind gusty, east, blowing at east to southeast at 10 to 20 knots. Let's talk a bit about our tides. Today's low tide will begin at 10:51 a.m. while high tide is expected at 4:41 p.m. and then another low later on tonight at 10:38 p.m. and then tomorrow's high begins at 4:49 a.m. And that does it for our eye on the weather. This here is our satellite view. I know a lot of people appreciate this because you get to see a bit of the weather, the rains, the clouds that's above us today. And so it does look cloudy and it looks like we're going to get some rain, right in line with the eye on the weather.
All right, fantastic, Paul. Thanks so much for that weather update. Moving things along, and before we take our first break, I do want to remind you guys that we have a poll up on Facebook, and the question goes, do you think Belize is prepared for the upcoming hurricane season? This is a yes or no question. Let us know what your thoughts are. We got to take our first break though, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, we will be talking about the celebration of Belize's public service providers. How do you think the public service should be celebrating this year's Public Service Week? We want to know, and of course, we'll be talking about upcoming activities with them after the break.
My name is Christian Palma. I'm the owner of CRK Services, and I've been operating this business for 7 years in Big Falls, Toledo District. I use the Belize Bank online services because it's quite fast, reliable, and easy. Before I started to use the Belize Bank online services, I had to make a lot of trips into town, which cost me a lot, especially fuel. So the fact that I have to use my credit card every day, I can do an online instant payment and make my life easy. My customers can do payments towards me and it reaches in instant. It's fast, it's convenient for my business. I don't have to be up and down. I can do it anywhere I want. I would recommend you using the Belize Bank online services because for you, it will save you a lot of time.
This summer, get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025. Where summer comes alive!
Planning a trip to Belize? Here's how to complete your I Declare Arrival form in 5 easy steps. Step 1. Visit belizetravel.immigration.gov.bz. Step 2. Select the appropriate forms for arrivals. Choose Arriving to Belize. Step 3. Provide your origin trip details, including your departure airport and country of residence. Step 4. Carefully complete the immigration form. Add dependents if necessary. Declare baggage, currency, and merchandise, and confirm your entries are correct. Step 5. Download your completed form and take a screenshot of your QR code and reference ID to present to the immigration officer. Thank you for using Belize iTravel. Safe journey.
Hi there. Are you on your phone right now, scrolling on social media, listening to the radio, or watching TV? Have you ever stopped to think, what's powering my device right now? You see, electricity is essential for everyday life, powering our homes, businesses, transportation, and of course, that one binge-worthy series that you just can't stop watching. But how does it all work? This season on the What's and Why's of Energy, we're taking you behind the scenes, bringing you the latest updates and answers to your biggest energy questions. My name is Emmanuel Petch, and I invite you to join us as we go live on Facebook and get ready to see energy in a whole new light. Like, share, and follow us to be part of the conversation.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Good morning and welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are jumping straight into our first conversation. And as I mentioned, it's all about celebrating Belize's public service providers. We are joined this morning by two members of the public service. We have here with us Coretta Apollonio. She is the Assistant Supervisor for the New Beginnings Youth Development Center. Also with her is Kim Burgess. She's a Senior Tax Officer representing the Belize Tax Services. Ladies, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having us here with you this morning.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. The first thing I have to ask is, when is the start of Public Service Week?
It commences on June 23rd and it concludes on June 27th.
Fantastic. So this is kind of to kickstart the conversation and highlight what the activities will look like.
Yes.
Before we get into that, though, let's talk about the public service in general. We've been talking about public service for the better part of, over a month. But what does the public service encompass? There are several essential services that are involved.
Yes.
But for persons who still might not be aware, let's look into that.
All right, so two things we are from the Ministry of Public Service, which is, this is a part of the committee that brings awareness to the activities.
Okay.
Which is a bit different from the Public Service Union. Right? People tend to mix it up because of the common word.
Yeah.
However, we are frontline workers. We are the people that are in these businesses that you come across that provide service to Belize as a country, and everybody else, by the effect of that. So it's not to be clouded with all the stuff that is going on with the union.
No. I was referring more along the lines of, we've been speaking about public service through the unions, of course, but there's the commonality of that. What I also want to know is, what's the size of the public service in general? Because there are so many essential services that are provided.
That's a good question. I might have to come back to you with that. I mean, there's numerous ministries. So, all government entities, we're public servants. So to give you a number, we have to...
The thousands.
We could Google that and come back.
And she rightly mentioned, we are made up of several different departments, having their own
departments and ministries,
responsibilities, and as you said, we offer service to the wider general public.
I view it as a machine with different parts that keeps the country running,
Definitely
right? So while one department might be the headlight, another department might be the rear view mirror, but it's one vehicle that keeps moving all together. Talk a bit about why it's important to appreciate public servants and to single out this week, just next week, to get that done.
Well, as she rightly mentioned, we offer service to the wider general public, and our services are very essential, especially for my ministry. We are Ministry of Finance, and I work with Belize Tax Service, and we...
I love to
know. One of our major responsibilities is revenue, and as you know, revenue drives, because that is what we do to fix roads, pay salaries. So, yes.
So in my scope, I fall under the Ministry of Human Development. And so we provide care to everybody, children, elderlies, teenagers. And so to just let the employees know we appreciate you. We see you. This week is for you. We're highlighting that we work 365 days, but this week we just want to say thanks.
I know
several different activities to reboost and rebuild and kind of pour into each other's cup.
I know the work that you do, they're completely different. But allow me to ask, if I say the heart of a public servant, what comes to mind for both of you? Or how do you describe that? If I say you have to have the heart of a public servant, what for both of you?
Giving service, providing service,
definitely,
helping somebody's life to be a bit better in whatever capacity that means. If Miss Kim not give me my tax or give you your tax, my life is not better. In reference to the kind of care that I provide, in terms of interacting with the children or somebody needing care, then me contributing to that helps to make your life better. So to me, it's just making somebody's life better.
For you, Ms.
Yes, I could definitely relate to what she is saying, because we do serve the public. And for me, at the end of the day, when I know that I have helped someone, if they called and gives, have queries, it is a rewarding and fulfilling feeling at the end of the day. So serving the people, the country of Belize, the citizens of Belize, you know, it's an amazing and awesome feeling.
You know, I was going to ask a similar question to the one that Paul posed, but more along the lines of, as we see new and fresh faces enter the workforce, there's usually the option of either being a public service workant or working in the private sector. And that, I think the weight of both of them are different in this day and age. The generation that I've come from, and even before me, everyone wanted to be a public service worker. You know, you want to work for the government. And now we're seeing some people be more entrepreneurs or working in the private sector. In your own individual departments that you guys work in, are you seeing young and fresh faces, people coming in with a heart of service the same way that you guys did when you first arrived?
I mean, just look at them, young.
They're young still, yeah.
For me, yes, we have a lot of new social workers coming in, you know, with a boost of energy, wanting to get out there to make a difference. So yes, but I have never worked in the private sector, so I cannot speak on, you know, what are the opportunities offered there. I have been doing this for 17 years, giving the government my time. So
17,
you know, yes,
incredible.
Yes, and I mean, it's similar to what she has mentioned. We are seeing a lot of young people enter the public service, and they come with fresh ideas, a boost of energy, and you know, it is at the end of the day the diversity. You know, the diversity is what helps our assist or move forward. But as she rightly mentioned, I have 25 years and
25.
Yeah, I'm loving the pins.
Yes,
Tell me about those pins. What's
my
happening
10
there?
years, my 15 years, my 20 years, and next week I'll be collecting my 25
But you got 5
years.
pins, man. So you have to tell me more. Okay, you got
No,
10.
these are my different. I have to represent Belize.
Okay,
so
but you got
my
5
Belize
other
flag.
pin on there. Are they all public service related?
Yes. they're
Okay,
all
so tell
public
me about
service
the other
related.
2.
But these ones are. This one is from the Union, the celebrating the 100 years,
Okay.
and this one is from Bahamas, Barbados, the spin. Yes,
Wow.
a public service.
So
That's
for
fantastic.
you, after 25 years, you've seen a lot.
Yes, I have seen a lot of changes, and you know the changes are for the better. And as you mentioned, with the younger people, I feel appalled. I feel elated that these individuals, these young people, you know, select the public service to want to come in.
What for you after 25 years and 17 years, just like there's challenges in any workplace, is perhaps one of the challenges that you have encountered and overcome as a public officer in all your years of service?
I mean, as you rightly mentioned, there is no workplace that you will not encounter challenges, or you face different challenges, but it's the way how you overcome, how you deal with these challenges. And I mean, for many of us moving up within the department, you know, that is one of the challenges. But at the end of the day, when you encounter and you have overcome such challenges, it is a rewarding and fulfilling feeling at the end of the day.
You have any thoughts on that question, or to put you on the spot?
Would be the growing need. Like, you would think that by now in 2025 we would have had a grip, or there's a larger margin in terms of poverty and you know, things in that manner. But for our ministry, the need is still growing. Like, you know, so there is to come back to the table to kind of figure out how do we be proactive and not reactive dealing with that. So those are some of the challenges.
Well, and this is why having you all at the table or in these ministries and departments is important, because you have that institutional knowledge, you have that experience over those years, and it's important for us to have these discussions to highlight your work, because then we could lay the platform for next week. This is why we celebrate our public servants.
We've been doing the work and continue to do the work. So.
Well, let's talk about the activities that are set to kick off next week, starting June 23rd.
So we're starting off with prayer service, which we're inviting, you know, all members of the public, whether working, not working, retired, just to come and be a part. In all things, we must give God thanks, and so that's the kickstart. It will be at St.
Lake High Baptist Church. Lake Independence Baptist Church.
That's right down in turning to Mahogany, right by the taxi stand. I know where it is. I don't know what it is. But yes, we're inviting everybody to come out and just be blessed and start your week off properly.
Yes.
And then the following day we have a national walk. Just let me go back. The team, can you go up?
Yeah, the
So I was
team.
just going to mention
Let's look at the team, guys. Down. Let's look at the team on top of that. It's there? Is it?
It's right here.
It
It's right here.
Okay, you have it there.
5 years to 2030.
Sorry, kindly read my spin. Right, so this team
so it
was...
says, what's the team? Let's get the team.
5 years to 2030, accelerating public service delivery for a sustainable future.
5 years to
2030.
2030. Okay.
Yes, accelerating public service.
So what's big about 2030?
As you just mentioned, I mean, we need to be proactive. So we're moving. We are having new people coming in with new ideas and the diversity. So it is for us to all get this, continue to have the engine running.
Yeah.
You know, that by 2030, we can look back and say, man, 5 years from now, we have excelled this much.
Yeah.
And these problems that we have 2025, we are no longer seeing in 2030.
Well, I was thinking it was the consideration of the SDGs.
Maybe even so.
I was thinking another election in 2030. I'm just kidding. Come on, man.
So the team was
Give me a break.
selected. The team was selected from the United Nations team competition, and we kind of just
well, that makes sense then.
We kind of just adapted
the team instead.
So
I love that.
Instead of doing a team competition that we usually did, we did a poster competition to kind of just depict what the team looks like, and the winner will be chosen. It was one per district.
Per municipality, yes.
And so we're going to see who
national winner.
Right.
We're gonna have
all right, so
let's go back to the calendar. Monday is the church service. Tuesday is the health and rally.
No, Tuesday is the national walk.
And
so this year we're doing things a bit differently. We're going to meet up in Belmopan, right? You usually do a walk throughout the city, or every district would do their walk on that Tuesday. However, we want to be unified and you know, bring the crowd, and so
that's where you'll really see the numbers, and then you could kind of guess how much did it.
we're
going to do a head count.
So yes, we are having the National Health Walk and rally in Belmopan on the Tuesday.
Nice. Okay.
Taking some buses. Every district is doing the same and meeting up. Right, and then the Wednesday we have our information day, which all departments and ministries are welcome to come. We have a wide selection of ministries and departments that are going to be participating. It's going to be held at the Old Nursing School, Central Health Region.
Right over here,
right in the back. We are, again, for people who don't know what public service are or what ministries and what they offer, this information fair brings just that. You can take a walk at each booth. There's going to be games, there's going to be giveaways. In terms of just providing information, we invite the public to come, you know, even the private sectors to come, because we're all about networking and
service delivery,
building teams.
So that's Wednesday.
That's Wednesday. Thursday, you have a staff appreciation.
Yes. So this is where our ministries and departments are asked to reward their staff internally. You know, if you have a staff that is doing well or have met a marker such as 5 or 10, or, you know, just to give back staff appreciation, it could be a half day for some games or just a relaxing time, team building activities, just a give back of whatever
And that's where Miss Kim gets her other pin.
Yes.
Oh, you'll get another pin.
That's 25 years she completes.
Yeah, that's on Thursday.
And so we'll have it, yes, Miss Kim will get that.
Wow.
I don't think she has space on it, so
I know, right?
that pin. But as for Thursday and then Friday is, you know, the party.
Social.
Social.
So, well, I mean, I don't need too much insight on the social, right? But it's something we're inviting all public
officers. Yes, all public officers.
And you all gather in one location.
And we meet up.
The location up there.
We don't see it. We will show up.
Your name is not on
But
this.
I also understand that there's an invite to the public for a karaoke and events.
So we have, we're doing fundraisers, and this is our third fundraiser. So we have a karaoke / dance at Shisha tonight. You know, kind of late Father's Day special, but kind of get your shake hands.
Try to show Father's Day in there.
Hey, we're trying to stretch it out and celebrate you guys all month.
Yes, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, it's all about you on your 15th birthday.
Yeah.
So yes, we're inviting. It's $10 pre-sold ticket, $15 at the door. We have some dollar wings and quesadillas and different stuff. But it has been really nice. It has been, everybody supports it. It's a nice ambience, you know, come out and
the fundraiser is for what?
It is for us to be able to provide
for the
stuff for the social and you know, for the bus and different stuff like that.
What about the walk of recognition? Is that something we still do? And there's in Belmopan where you put public servants or officers' names on the walkway.
Yes, I think that is for 35 years.
That's what
35 years of service.
Markers.
Yes, different markers, because we celebrate 25 years, we celebrate 30 and 35
So
years.
that doesn't happen like during the public service week?
Those are set at different
special
dates.
occasions.
Those are special occasions.
All right, good. All right. That
I mean, if I have made 35 years, I wouldn't want it to be clustered with everybody.
You want something just for you.
That's true. Give me a random
exclusivity. Exclusivity.
35 years is a lot.
Yeah, we don't want to be there with the Leaf 5 people.
You think you're the aim for that? You're the aim for 35?
Of course, definitely.
Wow. Definitely. She don't have any more space on that jacket.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic week. It's an opportunity to highlight the work that's being done within the various ministries, to show some appreciation for the staff, and also to include you guys in it and learn a bit more about what public service workers do and the heart that they have to serve the people in the first place. Ladies, it's been a pleasure, and we wish you guys all the best.
Thank you.
Well, thank
and
you.
we're looking forward to seeing you guys. You could come to the free stuff.
The open stuff.
We will be there. We have a motivational moment we want to share with you, ladies, though. This morning's quote is, "Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve." This is from Napoleon Hill. Beautiful quote for the morning.
It is very fitting.
Alrighty, we take a quick break now, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll be talking with Bowen and Bowen as they are highlighting their fresh new flavors with Snackerz.
Ooh, okay.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
Get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Live performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025. Where summer comes alive!
My name is Leomar Langzert, and I'm a teacher, and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer, with these online that Belize Bank offered, is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History, choose Contributions, read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
This summer, get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Performances from Belize's most talented kids.
Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids.
Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025.
Where summer comes alive!
Welcome back. This is our second conversation for this morning. Thank you for staying tuned. And it's all about Bowen and Snackerz. And we have joining us Miss Jasmine Drury, brand coordinator at Bowen and Bowen. And she's here to introduce you and introduce us to some new flavors. Sabrina, Snackerz with the new flavors, right? You guys took the market by storm with your original flavors. Ms. Drury, good morning, first of all.
Good morning.
And welcome.
Thank you.
Talk a bit about the success that those first or initial flavors have enjoyed amongst the Belizean consumer?
Well, you know, Snackerz was launched in 2023 with a bang with our 4 contenders, which is the asadas, the chiladas, bocadas, and doradas. Since then, it has been taken up by our Belizean residents because it is a local Belizean product, something that they could relate to, because, you know, it is 100% corn-based, and we source that corn from local farmers in Belize. So when you're eating a bag of Snackerz, you're just not eating a snack. You're eating a little piece of Belize, you know? Yeah. So I feel like the Belizean residents have something to relate to when they're eating the snacks, and I think that is why we took it by storm. So that's a bit about Snackerz.
I think it aligns so perfectly with the Bowen and Bowen brand and value, which is including Belize in every product that they make. Since then, you guys have been able to expand. I remember when you guys initially came on the morning show and highlighted those 4 flavors. There's much more now on the table, though.
Yes.
I also want to highlight that we were also able to go to the factory location where these are also produced
a couple of years back,
firsthand, which was when it was launched.
Yeah.
To see firsthand how it was made.
You know what? It was amazing about that experience, being able to eat a chip right after you finish, you know how when you bake cookies and you
fresh out the oven,
right out the oven, you grab one or your toast bread and you put the butter right away and you eat that. It's just amazing, right? And what's incredible for me is that even in the bag, that flavor is not compromised.
Yes,
Talk a bit about that.
Well, we pride ourselves in being Belizean and local, which means that when we get it from the source, these farmers, it is produced in our factory. It's not overproduced, so you're getting something fresh all the time. And we produce on a mass scale, so when you're picking them up in the store, it's like a fresh bag of chips that you're getting. So that's something that we love about the Snackerz, and we hope that our you know, customers love it as well. So,
And I really hype on up, right? But I don't mind.
No, for real, guys.
This is one of my favorite chips. And I don't think Belizean versus foreign. I just think what I like.
Yeah.
Right?
Apparently, Paul goes to the grocery store and gets Snackerz every single time.
Every single grocery visit, I pick up one. Well, actually, asadas is my favorite. So I pick up a few of that and then like 2 of the others, right? So if you go in my house right now, no lie, you'll find some asadas chips right there on the basket. But I noticed you all have some big bags now.
Yes.
So let's go through what we have, right?
Including the new flavors.
So let's start with, we recently relaunched in January with new recipes and an improved, you know, Snackerz experience. So if you guys would like, we could get some snacks to you. Brought you some basket.
Woohoo!
Yeah, you could go ahead.
I'll take this one.
Okay. So we're gonna start with the asadas, which is Paul's favorite, of course. That's the front one. I have them in order for you.
Why is this your favorite?
This is my favorite because it just, to me, it just tastes like chips on it.
Okay.
Right?
It's just original. It's
it's original.
Like it's not too much. It has that perfect salt balance.
It's not too seasoned.
Yeah. So that's what we did. If you would open them, you would see that the chip is a bit larger than before. So you get more in your crunch.
Let's show it.
And it has that perfect salt balance. So it's not too overbearing. So you could pair it with your sandwiches that you like, Paul.
Right.
So it goes hand in hand. You could eat it with any meal, you know. So that's the improvement that we made to these asadas. Please let me know your feedback, Sabrina.
Of course I will. Okay.
Yeah, this is my feedback.
You love it. That's your feedback.
What's your thoughts? It's like, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's simple. It's not too salty.
Not too much seasoning, right? So
just that perfect.
Yeah, you could eat this with a little salsa. You could eat it with a
yeah, this is perfect for salsa.
Yeah.
So there's 2 servings in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also have a family size bag available, you know, if for Paul, you know, that's addicted to these asadas.
You know, they watch 2 servings and this. Nobody share this with nobody. It's a small bag of chips. So one serving in this. Get on the fast straight.
Okay. So now we have the Doradas. Our Doradas comes in 2 flavors. We have the nacho cheese.
And the like ranch?
And we have the zest.
Oh, the zesty ranch.
Yeah.
I'm a zesty ranch type gal.
Yeah.
I'm a zesty
you look
too.
like the zesty ranch
we always
type.
have like a team nacho cheese, team ranch.
I'll go with
zesty. Okay, so with the Doradas, we have
so
bigger
good.
chip as well, a bit more triangle.
Do you?
So you're going, getting that triangle.
Okay, with this
And
one, yeah.
we added a bit more nacho flavor to it as well, the cheese, so you get more cheese in your crunch.
So this is the...
This is the zesty ranch, this is the
nacho.
nacho. Okay.
I guess we have teams.
Yeah, well, of course. I'm team nacho, she's team zesty.
Who wins?
Zesty.
Okay.
It's such an experience in every bite, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. The experience with each chip is different.
It is.
Right?
It sure is.
It's not that you could compare it and say, all right, this one versus that one. For me, it's like, it has its own experience. It tells its own story.
Yeah.
Right?
It does.
Yeah, I really love the ranch.
The ranch is really pronounced
Yeah.
with that. And for this, the nacho is really pronounced with this as well.
So next we have the bocatas, which comes in a family bag. So this one specifically is like your party chip. When I see bocatas, I think party, get together, that Sunday dinner with your family.
The thing with bocatas, it doesn't come in a small pack, right?
No, it's just this size. And honestly, when I think about bocatas, because it comes in a circle tortilla chip, I think about, the nacho cheese, the yellow nacho cheese that you would go to the movie theater with and you would just eat it.
Yes.
So that's that. And here we adjusted the salt as well so that it pairs perfectly with whatever you're dipping it with,
What goes into the testing and deciding
how to adjust?
How to adjust flavors?
Well, our residents give us their feedback from our first launch, and we basically heard them and we took it into consideration and made these changes because that's one of the best things about being local. We could adjust to our audience, and I feel like it's just paying homage to Belize culture and everything that we are as Belizeans. So it's a chip for everybody.
So who do you go about asking? Do you go to kids and be like, does this need a little bit more like salt? Does it need to be spicy?
Well, we do have focus groups and they are a bit kid friendly because kids are the one that are snacking. But I mean, Paul.
Yeah, Paul definitely have to be one of your taste tester.
So we need to have some
this
Pauls
is really good.
testing.
This one here, you don't get it in the small.
Yeah, I like this.
I don't necessarily buy the big one, so.
That's your average corn tortilla chip that you would. It's just that wrong.
And it's so simple. I like this one. This one is really, really good. I like them all, but I like this one the most right now.
I love that. So next and lastly for this line, we have the chiladas.
For this line?
Yes. For this, these are the first line.
So that's a hint that the new chips are on a new line.
Yeah. The Z line.
Z line.
The chiladas is the last one at the back. Yeah.
Okay.
So that one. We upped the fiery and added a nice little balance of lime.
Because that people they compare that to tacos?
Of course not.
Okay, good.
Because Belizeans love their pepper and
that's true.
Lime. I don't know about you.
Also up the lime in this.
And the spice.
We have that good balance between the two of them.
I love a good spice too. So this
here
one
it says that they could get mild, medium, hot. Is that like the different?
Yes, we do have different flavors in them, different heat levels.
Heat levels.
So
this one is hot.
Stay tuned to some more that's coming.
This is really, really good.
Is it hot? Really hot?
No, that one is like perfect for someone that just wants a little oomph of
you could
hot.
also get fire.
Yes.
Is it too spicy? No, not at all. I could eat this. I could eat all of this.
I love hearing it.
Is it good? Yeah, this is really
not
good.
me checking the label for everything. I'm sorry.
It's 12 chip servings, but we don't watch that again. But this is good.
No, we're getting closer and closer to my favorite. Well, okay.
So that's it for our relaunch.
Or do.
So you've tried the new ones already?
I don't know if these are new or what, but I
think these
have
are
a
the new
favorite
ones.
here.
We're gonna get into that.
All right, let's go now.
So that wraps up our relaunch in January. So our residents, our customers, you know, you could find Snackerz in your local supermarket, superettes, or corner stores. So, you know, they're ready to be popped off the shelf and into your basket. So moving on, we have our fun little trio that was launched recently.
Okay.
These are the snacks.
Okay.
With a Z at the end.
Oh, snacks.
Yeah.
So these aren't Snackerz?
No, they are Snackerz, but we call them the snacks.
Okay, the snacks.
That's a new addition to our portfolio.
And I want to tell you, they think I got calories from the front now.
I love that.
Yeah. I don't know the back no more.
I think that's why I love it so much, but we'll get to that. Okay.
So for this line, we have 3 new fun chip. We have the spicy fries,
that's
the onion
this?
rings, and the sizzling bacon.
Okay, so let's go with I'm gonna try the spicy fries.
Yeah, you open I'll show the camera what we have here. Spicy fries, onion
So our
rings.
spicy fries is a
As I open this, I had to swallow.
Is that your favorite?
Wait, I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
So it's a potato-based snack. They're healthy. They're mindful.
Look at
and
this.
each bag
Everything for
is
me.
literally under 100 calories.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I was obsessed the moment I tried my first bag, but
Where did you get your first bag?
I got it at an event that I hosted.
Okay.
And there was a Bowen and Bowen representative there. I think you guys partnered with BTB. And I was just eating Snackerz like
So these,
snacks.
So before we go on, these aren't in store yet, or
Yes, they are. They're on
They
the
are.
shelf.
Yeah, I bought them too.
All right, so spicy fries.
But yes, so this is spicy fries.
Yes. They are a
Let me
little
finish my thought.
spicy, a little zesty in a potato-shaped fry. It's literally a fry that you can snack on
It's
all
amazing.
day
This
and
is so good.
not feel guilty. Speechless.
Yes, this is
Yeah, I like
made with real vegetables.
I like the texture. After 1 or 2 bites, it almost melts in your mouth.
Yes,
it does.
Yeah, I like that.
Kind of like a funyun.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
moving along.
So next we have the onion rings.
Okay, or like an onion ring. That's what.
Oh, so the Z.
Yes, all of
The
them
Z,
are
I see it now. Fries. Onion
bacons.
rings or bacons.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is our onion
I think this
ring.
entire like new line is my favorite.
Yeah?
Everything about it I love.
I
Okay.
like how excited you get, Sam.
We still not reached the boss yet.
Oh, really?
No.
That's facts.
Okay, so I
the best for last.
Yes. Okay, great. We're on the same page. All right. So this is onion rings.
Yes, so we have that onion flavored plate on onion rings that you can snack
This is
on
good.
all day.
Yeah, bro.
It is a wheat-based
I'm so happy
snack.
right now.
The onion. The
Yeah, you did
onion
say onion.
is onioning,
Yes.
but the chip is chipping as well, right? So it's crunchy. It's not too tough, so it's you could that bite again
It
and
melts.
it melts.
Yeah.
But then you get that onion flavor.
Yes, you do.
Right, and that. So if you like that onion flavor,
That's the one for
this
you.
is the one for you.
You know, I still want to go back though to how you guys were able to let the potato have this texture. Because it's potato, right?
Yes, it's a potato base. So they're basically like pellets that we fry.
Yeah.
And do you know like those? Take me back to my childhood. The little carts that would have the little round circle.
I eat one of that yesterday.
Where you eat with ketchup.
Yeah, the thing, man,
Yeah,
fried
so
chips,
it's
we
like
call it.
that. Yeah,
It
I've
kinda
never
reminds you of the
known
onion
the
rings.
name of that.
Yeah, I know. We somebody last year I think said, "You want fried chips?" I went buy fried chips, and then they showed me that and I said, "Oh, that's what you call it." Yeah, we just call it the thing where the people they sell and we buy.
Yeah,
right?
with ketchup.
Right.
Yes. So
Love.
it has that type of texture, but I've always been curious as to how they did that.
Before you get to the boss, you have
The
to
final
go back
boss.
to your childhood
Yeah.
and
Put them
and
together.
Eat them together.
together, right?
Okay, let me do that.
The first attempt on live television of putting them together.
And snacking on them.
Wait, let me like bite into 2 of them.
It was supposed to be 2 at
I'm
this
sorry.
point.
All right, that was good.
Okay.
No complaints there.
All right, the final boss, Paul.
So lastly, we have our sizzling bacons. Paul, I don't know if you want to eat this one, because it's bacon.
Oh well, we have. There's it's all the rave in the background. You can hear.
We even
the
had our
control
producer
room.
say no open too, cause one not for me.
It's okay, there's another one.
But come, let's
Okay.
open that one then.
So this was the one that I tried first.
This is the one you like.
And I tried this, and honestly, I never opened to trying anything else after that, cause like I'm that type of person. When I find what I like, I don't need anything
And you
else.
know what's interesting about that one? That's the one with the least amount of calories in
I'm
the
so
line.
glad you pointed that out, Paul.
75
Aren't
calories.
you so smart? Oh my gosh, yes. I love it. It's
And
healthier.
it's one serving per package.
Yeah, so I love that too. I don't have to think about, you know, to eat the
half and then
13th
save the
one.
half.
And then, so it's amazing.
Guilt-free.
But you need to try it.
Ooh, look at the size of it.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's
look
so
at that.
seasoned.
Let's
Look
get into
on
it.
that. Oh my
You would
gosh.
think it's a piece of bacon, right?
Yes, because I love the like the lines.
Yes, they got it.
details.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So this is actually a wheat-based veggie-infused snack.
Wow.
Girl, what? Oh my gosh.
It brings all the bacon without no meat. Without the meat.
Yes, right?
It got that spice.
Yes, right?
It
Is
got
this
that
the final boss or
bacon.
is this the final boss?
It is the final boss.
It is the final boss.
It does have that bacon flavor. It's a spice to it as well.
So seasoned.
Yeah, it's so seasoned. But then you remember you're eating a chip.
Yes.
Because of the crunch.
Yes.
Right? This is really good.
That
This
crunch.
is amazing.
When you bite into it, don't you just reminisce about your past when you're snacking on a good snack?
Honestly, no, because I haven't tasted it. I haven't tasted anything like this before.
This line is quite unique.
It is.
It is, and we are very proud
the spice.
to take it
It's
up
not
a
that
notch
spicy.
here.
It's just so flavorful.
I like this. To me, it has a kick, a hint, that spice I really like.
It does. So that concludes our trio for the Z's.
And all of these are available stores countrywide.
Yes, they are.
What do these retail for?
$1.
$1.
Well, let me just say good job. Excellent job, in fact, and congrats to you and the team over there at Snackerz for this new line. I think you're really onto something here, and you've hit the nail with these flavors and with the texture for sure.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I'm
well,
so excited.
So you have something else?
Yes, we have one more new product to our portfolio, which is the Kan tortilla chips.
Kan.
Kan.
Okay.
K-A-A-N. So this is the Kan chips.
Okay.
We have them available in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. And basically, it is a play on, you know, your corn chips that you eat with your dips. And it pairs well so good with guacamole, salsa, ceviche.
I love the spelling of it. Very
It's
Creole.
Yeah.
Okay, so this are like the corn chips so you buy in the corn section at the
Yes.
grocery store where there's bags, different bags. This is that right there.
That is that. That's where you would find those bags.
Yeah.
And they're definitely gonna stand out and say, "Bye me." So here we have our
like it.
corn chips, right?
Yeah.
As you can notice, it's a bit thick. So it won't break while you're scooping up your salsa or your guac.
That's intentional then.
Yes, it is. It is baked,
Yeah.
not fried, baked. So it's very mindful. And in addition, it has that perfect salt balance. So
That's
you
what I
can
was
pair
going
it.
to say. It's important that when you have these kind of chips, that you keep the flavor at a minimum because people buy them with the intention to add flavor to it, right?
they do.
Whether it's your dip, your salsa, your guacamole, and you don't want this flavor to alter that. And
Yes.
so I think you hit the nail with this one as well, where that is
You don't want
concerned.
it to overpower your dish.
Your dish.
Yes, absolutely. Well, this has been super fun. I am sold on all of them, but if there's anything that I would tell you guys to run, not walk and get, it's that bacon. Oh my gosh, this is so yummy. It's so well seasoned, and really, it's only 75 calories for $1.
Yeah, all the chips are $1. Well, except the bacatas, you know, it's a family size, so it retails about $6.50, and our con is available between $3 to $8.95 for the big bag.
Yeah.
So you're getting quality, affordability, and a great snack.
Absolutely. Well, we definitely stand by Snackerz and snacks. We encourage you guys to purchase them and, of course, support businesses here in Belize. We do got to take a quick break though, Paul.
I think your nose eats much.
It's the bacon.
Okay,
It's so addictive.
It is. You guys got to take this container away from me. But we're going to take a quick break now, and when we come back, I'll be chatting up with Hope Panton, a Miss Universe Belize hopeful. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer-Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family, as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Caraza, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
KTV The Remix Season 7 is back, and we're looking for the next superstar.
If you've got the voice, and you've got what it takes to own the stage,
then step up and show us what you've got at the official KTV The Remix Season 7 audition.
right here at the GBM Studios on Coney Drive, the 21st and the 22nd of June, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Whether you're a powerhouse vocalist, a smooth crooner, or a soulful performer,
your turn to shine under the lights right here to remix your future.
the winner walks away with $10,000, prizes, and bragging rights as Belize's next top talent.
Only the best make it to the list. Will it be you? KTV, the remix, season 7. It's bigger.
It's bolder.
It's awesome. Let the remix begin.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
This summer, get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025.
Where summer comes alive!
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes, guys. We are moving into our third conversation, and honestly, I have to say I have been looking forward to meeting the Miss Universe Belize delegates over the past 2 weeks. We are winding things down, and I'm joined this morning by Hope Panton herself. She is a Miss Universe Belize hopeful. Play on the word hope. I see a lot of people really, enjoying using the word hope lately. But it's a pleasure to have you here this morning, Hope. How you doing?
It's a pleasure to be here speaking to you and, of course, the Belizean public. I'm happy to have this conversation and have the public know a little more about hope.
Well, before we even get into what your pageantry journey has been like, Esperanza.
Yes.
So let us know a bit about who you are behind the pageantry scene.
Honestly, I am full of energy. I love people. I love connecting. I love the ocean. That's why my advocacy is ocean conservation. I feel very passionate about it because I grew up in San Pedro and Belize City. So my advocacy is really personal to me. And it is a legacy thing almost because I have shared some sacred moments on the sea with my family and friends. And the conversation is important for Belizeans to have because I want that same enjoyment that I have to continue for generations. And the sea has provided for this country beyond our understanding, and we need to have these conversations so that can continue.
One of the things that I was drawn to in your advocacy and in the way that you've presented yourself, Hope, is the way that you have connected your personal life to your advocacy and to just your overall presentation, the way that you've immersed yourself in this competition. So I want to peel things back a little bit and take a look at that little girl that was shown on the screen moments ago that I know our viewers were able to see. There you are, that's little Hope. And I saw your eyes kind of like fluttering a little bit when you heard me call you Esperanza.
Yes.
I had no idea they call you that, girl, just so you know.
They do. My family calls me Esperanza, and that photo right there was taken in San Pedro. That was a beach day with my family. So I really feel it in my identity when I speak about the sea because it is really a part of me, and I think a lot of Belizeans can relate to that.
Yeah. We definitely do, and we share it in our message whenever we speak about Belize and the beauty that it holds. When we talk about tourism, we cannot forget to include our blue spaces.
Of course.
And so I want to ask about ways that you've been able to advocate for marine conservation. I think Belize is fortunate enough to be a trendsetter, to be a leader in marine conservation, but are there anything in particular that you still feel that we need to work on?
I think I agree with you that we are a trendsetter and we're so beautiful with our biodiversity. But we need to have the conversation because ocean conservation is not just a coastal issue, it is a Belizean issue. And so people on the inland, I think sometimes don't realize that the little things we do, it does make a difference. Small actions, big waves is an initiative that I really take dear to my heart. And it's simple things like using our reusable water bottle. It's taking this to work, taking it to school, and just eliminating plastic. And this is what I want everybody to feel so passionate about.
Do you feel that while we send this general message of Belize being a trendsetter, there are still ways that small persons on the ground, the me, the yous as well, we're still not doing enough in terms of our part?
Yes. So you see this beautiful bag, Sabrina? I brought it for you.
Thank you.
Because when you go to the grocery store, we always just get our groceries bagged in plastic bags.
It's just convenient.
It's very convenient, and thank you, right? But you can say, you know what, today I don't need the plastic bag. I brought this beautiful reusable bag and I can put my groceries in here and I can use it for other things.
But then what we do about trash? Because we get the plastic bag to put our garbage in our house.
We just have to stop it.
No, I agree with you. And I think it's almost engraved in us. It's a part of our culture even to just use these convenient methods. But I want to also include some of the other fun facts about you that people might not know. One, I don't think anyone even imagined that you would have decided to pursue pageantry. What made you decide to take on the Miss Universe pageant?
You know, timing is a hell of a thing, and there's no perfect timing for anything. And I decided to just do this. And I've always wanted to be an ambassador for Belize. And to be an ambassador and present my country on a stage as big as the Miss Universe would be an honor. And I don't think anybody is more fit to do the job. Miss Universe is a dynamic, she's driven, she's a thinker, she's a doer, and that is exactly who I am.
What has the preparation for this competition been like? I've seen some stunning videos of you on the water, of you within communities. I saw you in St. Bite, I believe it was, doing cleanup campaigns.
It was in Manatee.
In Manatee, yes. Doing cleanup campaigns.
With Mr. Jamal himself.
Yes, the Manatee man. But you've really hit the ground running, and you've also been able to ignite supporters across the country, sharing this message of, pun intended, hope.
Yes, and I want that message and that momentum to keep on going. The ocean is a part of us in Belize. It is literally niched in our identity. Traditions such as fishing, it's a part of our heritage and we need to maintain that. And again, the conversation needs to continue.
Well, I want to have a little bit of an engaging conversation with you. So I heard that you love health and fitness, so that has been one of the things that we've seen you advocate for as well. You posted some stunning pictures most recently. So while you advocate for ocean conservation, you're also a big proponent for health and wellness.
Definitely.
Share more about that.
Well, this journey is...
Also, while we do that, can I get some snacks on here? Not Snackerz chips. I know we had we were snacking earlier, but do you like cucumbers?
Who doesn't?
And salt?
Who doesn't?
I heard you like cucumbers.
This is definitely a favorite snack of mine.
How so? I mean, I'll eat it with you, girl. I heard you really love it.
I'll have a bite. You've done some intel. You've done some private intel.
Girl, we do our background checks. Talk about health and wellness. How important is that to you?
So, especially this pageant journey, a routine is so important to keep mentally okay and organized, and that's in anything. And so working out and keeping myself accountable and keeping my body accountable has helped me tremendously.
How do you believe that your own individual story could inspire other people to do the same?
I would like to think that I'm an extremely relatable girl. I do everything that everybody does, and I'm here I'm here to speak on my platform to let everybody know that it's possible. Working out is possible. Being a Miss Universe is possible. Advocating is possible.
Yeah. Well, you are about to approach Pageant Week next week, and it's going to really be critical. There's going to be a lot of activities, some meet and greet opportunities for you guys to meet Hope, as well as the other delegates. And then, of course, there's Pageant Night.
Yes, the big night.
How are we feeling? What has the preparation been like for that? Because while you're here and you're speaking about your advocacy, there are all the other intricacies involved. You got to be prepared mentally, as you spoke about. You have to prepare these outfits, and you have to have the look, you have to have the walk, but you also have to be prepared to answer questions.
Yes, that's the fun part. The looks and the show is the fun part. You signed up to give off a good show. I'm excited to do that. Mm-hmm. I like conversation and I like people. So questions, I'm going to take it like that, like a conversation.
Yeah. All right. Well, invite us to the Miss Universe pageant next week. Why should we come out and support, and why should we support Hope Panton?
Well, the Miss Universe pageant is June 28th at the Civic Center, 8 o'clock sharp. Not Belizean time, guys. 8 o'clock.
Yes.
So let's be there. Come and support me, and you will get a show. I'm going to put on a show for the Belizean public, and I am excited to be your next Miss Universe Belize.
All right, and I also remember you have some true and false questions.
I do.
And I saw you also share that on your social media as well. You were out in the community asking people questions.
Yes.
To test their knowledge and to see if they're actually aware of our marine space here in Belize.
Yes, because like I said, it's conversation. It's not that people don't think that our sea is important. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we forget because we're so used to having its beauty.
You said a thing though. Whenever someone got the answer correct, there was this tagline that you said at the end. I can't remember. Correct. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. What are your questions?
All right. Let's start off.
And I think that's the relatable part of it too. You hear the Creole correct.
Well, we're Belizean. All right. I'll start off. These are very easy, and you're a smart girl.
Hope, don't do that, Hope.
Belize is home to the only living atoll in the Western Hemisphere.
Our barrier reef.
The Lighthouse Reef Atoll.
The Lighthouse.
It's a part of our barrier reef.
Yes. Okay.
So, yes, you see? Of course, you're stunning.
Stunning.
Overfishing has no impact on the balance of marine ecosystem in Belize.
False.
Correct. It does.
Wait, no man, not correct.
Correct. It does because it affects the harmony. It affects not just the fish population, but the entire marine ecosystem.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. All right. Plastic can take hundreds to thousands of years to break down. True or false?
True.
Yes, this is why it's so important for us to recycle and use our reusable water bottles and bags.
Absolutely.
Mangroves are critical for coastal protection against storm and erosion.
True.
Correct.
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 Yes, mangroves are vital for protecting our coastlines. Sargassum is completely useless and harmful to marine life.
Well, I don't know how useless it is because I've seen some innovative ways that people have been able to use sargassum, like create blocks to build structures. And so you want to repeat that question and I can see if there's like a nuance in there?
Sargassum is completely useless and harmful to marine life. True or false?
I want to say true.
You want to say false. You just want to say sargassum smells terrible.
It's gross.
Yes,
I mean,
it's gross.
But there has been uses that people have found for it.
Mm-hmm. And
so wait. Let me reel this back a bit because sargassum comes onto the shoreline. It's like the ocean cleaning itself, and so I guess it is useful.
It definitely is useful. But you know, too much of anything is a problem. And so sargassum provides habitat and food for many marine creatures. It's just a
I wouldn't
smell.
want to eat that.
No, we wouldn't want to eat it, but it's just the smell. And you can even use sargassum as fertilizer for your plants.
And that goes back to what I was saying. It's definitely useful in some cases.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
that does it?
That does it.
All right. Well, Hope, this has been such a pleasure sitting down and chatting with you. We have a hot topic coming up after the break here. And, you know, me and Paul, we were discussing it earlier, thinking, how will we take on this, we call it our devil's advocate question. So the question is, do you believe, let me read it from here.
Okay.
Should Belize allow offshore oil exploration? What's your take on that?
That is a tough question, simply because there's benefits and there's cons in that question. And so I think, again, if we continue to have the conversation and we explore the possibilities, then we can make a decision on should we or should we not.
And I know that that was one of those heavily debated questions, and it was extremely controversial within the ocean conservation spaces. I remember Oceana being a huge advocate for it to not take place.
Yes.
We would know that that eventually did work out. There was a referendum that was held, but that question still remains.
Oceana keeps on doing great work, and they have been lobbying for ocean conservation.
All right.
So I applaud Oceana every day.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Hope, and good luck. This has been such a wonderful conversation with you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, we take our final break, and as I mentioned, when we come back, we have a hot topic to discuss. Should Belize explore oil exploration here in Belize? We'll be discussing that when we come back.
Carlton Flowers, and I'm the owner of Back to My Roots Art from the Heart, and in this store I produce a lot of handmade ornaments. Before I had access, it was a big problem because the tourist doesn't carry as much cash. We needed to have the machine to make the business a success. Dealing with the machine, I don't have to take time out from the store to go and, or send people to go to the bank. I would recommend Belize Bank Digital Service because it has done a lot for me personally. It has done a lot for my business. It helps me with paying my bills online, and I really appreciate that the staff took time out and teach me what I needed to get done. So I'm very happy that now I can do it confidently on my own.
Get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Live performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025.
Where summer comes alive!
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family, as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Caraza, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Welcome back, and thanks for sticking with us. We're moving things along, and as I mentioned before the break, this is the section of our hot topic debate. We call it Devil's Advocate. And so we want to preface this conversation by saying, do not come for us in the comments section. We are simply doing our own digging and trying to provide both sides to a controversial question. And so the question this morning is,
the question is, should Belize allow offshore oil exploration? And you could come for me. Come for me.
Paul said, bring it.
I'm just kidding. But this is a conversation.
Yeah.
And it's one that has been ongoing. I have to say it's a heavy topic to discuss. And people hold strong opinions on either side.
Yeah.
Because while you might hear the voices against amplified, in a lot of the cases, let's be honest, there are those in the background quietly that wants to see offshore oil exploration take place in Belize. And this is a interesting conversation at this time, given the discussions that's taking place with, I believe it's a mining ship. Some sort of ship with these huge antennas that's docked out in San Pedro or off Ambergris
Just this
Key.
week, it's been making rounds.
Right. So though while the Belize Port Authority issued a release that it would make a call into Belizean waters, the concern is that it is still there at this point. But I'm saying that to say that whenever residents on Ambergris Key sees these types of activities in their water, in our water that is, their curiosity peaks, because no play with we ocean, no play with what we've invested in protecting, and we are aware of the negative impacts that these sort of explorations, oil, mining, whatever, could have on our marine resources. So
you're just giving my points.
I'm just stating.
Making my work easier.
Telling you why it's relevant to have this conversation right now.
Yeah, and so really what I was going to highlight as the reasons why we shouldn't, or why there's been a resounding message, I think, from the general public of why we shouldn't, were some of what you exactly just mentioned. When we look at these spaces like Ambergris Key, Key Cocker, Placencia, these are high tourism locations. People come to Belize because of our beautiful waters. And so we have to be very mindful of the risk that we could potentially make in choosing oil exploration, not even certain if we would come up on something or not, over tourism, which is the primary driver of our economic growth. And so that's my first one. And that is the reason why you'll see people from Ambergris Key, as you just mentioned, the moment they see these machinery on the waters, wondering if something fishy is taking place, pun intended. And so that's, I think, one of the primary reasons why there has been a pushback for that. The second one, I think, too, though, is the protection of our marine biodiversity. It's so important that we preserve what we have here. We were just talking to Hope Panton before the break, who is a proponent of ocean conservation, speaking about some of the marine spaces that we so hold close to our chest. because it makes us leaders in these international spaces when we see what Belize is doing and the efforts that have been made to preserve our marine life. If we explore oil, there is a possibility that we could put these species, these marine biodiversity and life spaces at risk. And then finally, my third and final point, which is I think looking more long term, we don't want to risk short-term reward and impact our long-term work that we have invested. Yes, oil exploration, if we do come up on something that could be incredibly beneficial to us economically, but there could also be a bigger impact. To search for that here in Belize could really impact us in the short term. So for short-term cash, we have long-term negative effects.
So I'd have to look at the data scientifically, because I'm not speaking from a scientific point with scientific data, to see exactly what the impact would be if we explore offshore, if we engage in offshore oil exploration, right? I'll have to look at the scientific data to see the impact, because one would imagine that if you're doing this, it's not haphazardly. It's not just bore a hole and to hell with everything around the marine ecosystem and its spaces. You have to consider that. One would consider that there should be safeguards in place to minimize, if not completely prevent damages, and perhaps I'm in a dream state to think that damages could be completely avoided. And to your point of uncertainty, well, we'll never be sure unless we get some answers through exploration, right? So we know, we're not sure. Well, that's the whole heart and nature of exploration, right? To have some level of certainty as to whether it's there or not. But I think one thing that we struggle with here in Belize is the cost of fuel, right? We struggle so much with the cost of fuel. I'm not certain how much we are right now, how much oil we're producing in country. I know in Spanish Dakota it was a big deal some years back, but we struggle with the cost of fuel because of importation costs added to tax that we have in Belize, etc. Based on my understanding, I'm no expert in this field, when you explore offshore, onshore, when you explore for oil and it's actually discovered, what it does for a country, let's say Guyana for example, it creates energy independence, a greater level of energy independence. So imagine we're getting all of this oil, we're able to produce it ourselves, we're able to process it. How much cheaper fuel will be for Belizeans? And I hear a lot of people breathing a sigh of relief, just thinking.
No, they're breathing from frustration by what you're saying.
No, unless they're breathing from all the emissions, right? Are trying to breathe through all the emissions. But yes, so energy independence. That's one of the pros for this argument. A second one perhaps has to do with economic growth.
Yeah.
The more oil you have as a country, this a black hole, you know. This is a thing where people fight for. This are thing where topple economies, local and globally. These are things where have a domino effect on inflation. And if Belize could grab a hold of a portion of that market, one, you could offset some of the demands or some of the lack in the global market, depending on the scale of what you discover. And two, you could bring in much needed foreign income, much needed revenue to then increase your fiscal budget or your country's budget. So just imagine being able to now say we can afford to pay the teachers, if that's the argument you want to use as a government.
Wow, you went there.
Right? We can afford to increase social programs.
Yeah.
We can afford to bolster our infrastructure, the roads, the 4 lanes, 5 lanes on it asked for. We can afford to do that now because we now have a new line item in our economy that's increasing the budget, annual budget we have. So those are some of the things I consider when I think about the possibility or the future that oil exploration could present, offshore oil exploration. And I know it gets tricky with offshore for all the reasons you mentioned.
Yeah, and I think there has to be a middle ground though when we're discussing something like this, because we don't want to look at it as simply just the possibilities and kind of live in this fairy tale idea of, you know, oil could save us from poverty, you know, because that's not necessarily the reality. So many things could go wrong, and we could be in an even worse situation that we're already in, Paul. And so you have to be mindful of the possibilities for that. And so just for us to strike a middle ground and figure out what's the next step? What can we do? What has the government done? We've had a referendum and we've heard from the public saying that they are not supporting it. I just saw a comment, I just saw someone in the comment section saying no immediately, no to offshore drilling. Someone else said absolutely not. The risks outweigh the benefits. And so this is something that we will continuously hear from the public. So in terms of our conversation that we're having right now here, Paul, I think it's wonderful that we still have been able to discuss what the pros and the cons are. And if that conversation is revisited at any point, we know that we have our neighbors in the region, in the Caribbean, Guyana, that has been able to use oil exploration as a success story. But there are also other countries that have not been able to say the same.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here?
Well, I think you look at some of the examples in the Middle East, though they are war-stricken. You look at some of the examples in the Middle East and you see how, for example, countries like Saudi Arabia, you know about Saudi, right? The people, they got a lot of money, but they experience rapid economic growth as a result of oil, and then you look at the United States as well as another example. I don't know how good of an example Venezuela is, but just because of their politics, but that has to do with the politics,
yeah,
right? And that's
a whole other conversation that we have to include in there too, because should we land on something,
yeah,
oh my gosh,
it could increase mismanagement, it could increase
the corruption.
Yeah,
but then it's also, do we not want to improve our economy because
so you look at Venezuela and how much this region has leaned on a country, though they are falling apart in a sense, how much we've leaned on them because of this very thing, right? And I know the conversation is ongoing. I think what Ms. Panton said earlier is critical. The conversation has to continue, and I think that the conversation cannot be one-sided. That is my view. The voices of those who are against it are amplified. They're loud. We hear them. I think the conversation needs to be balanced. It needs to be balanced so that we as a society can seriously weigh the pros and cons of this thing and see if we could find middle ground. For me, that's my position. I take the position of Ms. Panton.
All right.
The conversation needs to continue.
Well, we want to hear your position on this topic as well. And I know I see some of you in the comment section saying no, and the risks outweigh the benefits. We also want to hear your thoughts on that as well. Do you think that this is something that we should revisit and talk about again, especially when we consider the ways that we could boom economically? We want to hear from you. But Paul, we also have to wrap up. It's been a wonderful morning. And we do have some news updates that we do want to share with you guys in terms of what we are following. We have some great news. Paul.
Yeah, so I just got off the phone with the grandmother of Lizzie. I just got off the phone with the aunt of Lizzie as well. So I spoke with both of them, and I also spoke with Armando Kukum, who led the search party in hopes of finding Lizzie. And based on all those conversations that I had moments ago, I can confirm that Lizzie has been found. She is currently in the custody of police. We know for a fact that she was found up north in northern Belize. So she was taken.
Can you confirm if she was with a family member?
So the family, based on the information I received, yes, she was in the company of a relative. And this conversation has been happening in terms of what the family suspicions were, since this conversation about an aunt was raised initially. So we understand that while it may not have been the aunt that she was found it, yes, the grandmother and the aunt of her dad's sister, her aunt, confirmed that she was found in the company of a relative at 2 a.m. this morning. The father tracked down the white pickup truck that they suspected she jumped in. They tracked down the white pickup truck all the way to the Orange Walk district. All up into this morning, they found the pickup truck. They found the home where the pickup truck was parked. They took a video and pictures of the pickup truck. They provided me with most of this information, including some visuals. And then they contacted the police and said, hey, we've located the pickup truck. It's at this property. Now we're leaving it in your hands. And according to the grandmother, police, they swooped in, they searched, and the girl was found.
Wow. Of course, we will be giving you guys an official update on this in our News at Noon coverage, as well as our news coverage later on tonight at 6 p.m. Paul, I know that we also will be following several other stories as well. The
NTUCB, the joint, well, it's the umbrella union, they're hosting a press conference this morning at 10:30. And then we have Ms. Panton and the opposition parliamentarian team. They're hosting a press conference this afternoon at 2 p.m. So a lot of press conference, a lot of people to talk, a lot of people to add their voices to the national issues at this time.
All right. Well, that does it for our show this morning. It is June 19th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@channel5belize.com. You can also catch us on Facebook, that's Open Your Eyes BC, as well as Instagram for behind the scenes contents, that's OIE Belize. You can even call us or text us on our OIE phone number, that's 675-2555. We also want to remind you guys that tomorrow will be a special Open Your Eyes coverage because it's Summerfest. And we will be outdoors, and we are inviting all of you kids and families to come out and enjoy the show. There will be lots to talk about, a lot of talent to show off, and even some giveaways. So definitely come out with your friends and your family.
I'm looking forward to Summerfest. It's usually fun. It's going to be at the Memorial Park, right?
Yes, it will. Yeah, right. I am excited. We get to really have an open audience, you know. We don't have an audience in person, but that's one of the special occasions where we actually do. But as we wrap up, I want to say a huge thank you for joining us, and please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes
and start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Thursday, Belize. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.